Hello, Cosmos Explorers. Welcome back to Cosmosphere. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and imagined what lies beyond the stars? Among all the wonders in our solar system, few inspire as much awe as the majestic rings of Saturn. These magnificent bands of ice and rock, stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers wide, have captivated the imagination of humanity for centuries. But in 2025, something extraordinary is about to happen. The rings of Saturn, those iconic, shimmering halos, will seemingly vanish. To the naked eye, and even to telescopes on Earth, Saturn will appear bare, almost unrecognizable. This isn't science fiction. This is astronomy in motion. And the story behind it is more fascinating than you might think. Today, we embark on a journey to understand why Saturn's rings disappear every few decades, what secrets they hold, and what their vanishing act in 2025 can teach us about our cosmic neighborhood. Before discussing the main topic of the disappearance of Saturn's rings, we will provide brief information about Saturn's rings, tracing their remarkable discovery. The story of Saturn's rings begins in 1610, when Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei turned his homemade telescope toward the heavens. He saw something strange. Saturn appeared to have ears. Two odd protrusions stuck out from either side of the planet. He was puzzled. He wrote, "Saturn is not alone." But with his limited optics, he couldn't make sense of what he was seeing. It wasn't until 1655 that Dutch scientist Christian Huygens used a more advanced telescope and realized the truth. Saturn wasn't flanked by moons or wings. It was surrounded by a ring system, one continuous, flat disk, encircling the planet like a halo frozen in space. Over time, as telescopes improved, astronomers discovered that the ring wasn't just one disk, but a complex system of individual rings, separated by mysterious gaps and divisions. So what exactly are Saturn's rings made of? They're composed mostly of water ice, with traces of rocky material. The particles range in size from tiny grains of sand to chunks the size of mountains. Each of these pieces orbits Saturn independently, locked in an elegant gravitational dance. The entire ring system is about 240,000 miles wide, more than 3/4 of the distance from Earth to the Moon, yet astonishingly thin. In some places, the rings are just 10 meters thick. Cassini spacecraft, which orbited Saturn from 2004 to 2017, gave us stunning close-up views. It revealed complex structures, wave patterns, spirals, vertical ripples caused by Saturn's moons. Now, let's talk about the main event. Why Saturn's rings disappear. Saturn, like Earth, is tilted on its axis, about 26.7 degrees. Because of this tilt, as Saturn orbits the Sun every 29.5 years, our view of the rings from Earth changes. Sometimes we see the rings fully open. Other times we see them edge on. And when we do, something magical happens. The rings, despite their size, become nearly invisible. This is called a ring plane crossing. The rings are so thin, they virtually vanish from our perspective. They don't actually go anywhere. They're still there. But we're seeing them from the side, a cosmic illusion. The next ring plane crossing will occur in 2025. For a brief period, Saturn will appear ringless to Earth-based observers. This isn't the first time it has happened. In 1995 and again in 2009, astronomers witnessed this phenomenon. In both cases, the rings slowly thinned out over months, vanished for a short time, and then began to open again. In ancient times, this illusion would have been incomprehensible. But today, with powerful telescopes and global observations, we understand the mechanics behind it. During the 2009 crossing, telescopes caught glimpses of Saturn's moons passing in front of and behind the planet. A rare opportunity to study the system in a new light. The 2025 event will be even better documented. With more advanced imaging, higher resolution instruments, and possibly citizen science observations, we will witness one of Saturn's greatest tricks in stunning clarity. Why does this matter, you might ask? It's more than just an optical illusion. When the rings go edge-on, sunlight casts shadows in unique ways. This allows scientists to study the vertical structure of the rings, to understand their thickness and composition. It also helps reveal faint outer rings that are normally lost in the glare. Moons like Pan and Daphnis become more visible as their interactions with the rings create ripples and waves. Ring plane crossings are also an opportunity to study the phenomenon known as ring rain. a slow drizzle of material falling into Saturn's atmosphere. Here's the sobering truth. According to data from Cassini, Saturn's rings are not eternal. In fact, they are slowly disappearing. Gravity, sunlight, and Saturn's magnetic field are pulling ring particles down into the planet. NASA estimates the rings could be gone in 100 to 300 million years, a blink of an eye on cosmic timescales. So, in a sense, every ring plane crossing is a reminder that even the most beautiful features of our solar system are temporary. On March 23, 2025, Saturn's rings disappeared from our skies. But what we gained was perspective, curiosity, and a renewed sense of awe. This is the magic of the cosmos, always shifting, always reminding us how small we are, and how vast everything else is. Remember what you saw, or what you missed, because the universe always has another story waiting in orbit. We didn't lose the rings. We found something even more precious, the wonder they leave behind.